Greetings and welcome to another Gwinnett County Public Library Introduction to Python video. In today's video, we are going to be using the math module. And the math module is really neat. It's built into Python and it gives you access to some advanced math functions. Now, this isn't meant to be math, like how to do math. This isn't a math tutorial. This is about the process of creating a Python script for the purpose of automation. So the great thing about using math as an example is that some problems have multiple steps, and we can take those steps and convert them, or really just, not necessarily convert them, but just make a Python script based on the math. So I figured that what we would use is some trigonometry. It's not necessary that you've studied trigonometry before. If you have, then this will be a little refresher on sine, cosine, and tangent. But if you haven't, just follow along as I go through the steps and we solve the math problem, because then it'll make sense how we break things down in Python. And then you'll learn something along the way, hopefully. So let's get started. And for this video, I will be using the calculator on my computer, the IDE on my computer, but then also using my iPad to solve the math problem. So, like I said, we're going to do some trigonometry. So let's use, as if we needed to, we're going to use the sine. We'll do sine, right? I guess we could do sine, cosine, or tangent, but let's use sine. So let's create a triangle. It's kind of a awkward triangle. And this is definitely not to scale, okay? But let's do, let's label it A, B, C, and we'll say angle A is going to be 33 degrees. We'll say angle B is 108 degrees. Let's not know angle C, and we'll know the length of side BC. We'll say this is 8 millimeters. Okay. And yeah, this would be perfect for sine, because what we have is we have two angles, right, A and B, and we have the length of a side that's opposite of an angle that we do know. So perfect sine problem. So I like to write down what we know. That's just always how I've tackled math. So we know angle A is 33 degrees. We know B is 108 degrees. We don't know C, but we do know the length of BC is 8 millimeters. But we don't know AB, and we don't know AC. So what's our goal? Well, our goal, and I'm just going to go ahead and write that up here too. Our goal, find angle C and the lengths of AB and AC. So let's go ahead and do that. Classic sine, right? All right, so let's get started. Let's see. First, and I'm just going to say, let's see, find angle C. So how do we do that? Well, we know that with triangles, it's got to equal up to 180 degrees. So we know angle C is equal to 180 minus 108 minus 33, right? So let's go to my calculator, and we'll say 108 well, let's do 180 minus 108 minus 33 is 39. So let's go back and fill that in. I'm just gonna, we don't want to highlight, we want to delete. And let's put that in red. So we know that's 39 degrees, and we can actually go back over here and fill that in. Cool. Alrighty. So we can look at it that way. We found out one of the things, right? So now what we need to do is find the lengths, right? So let's take, we have the sine of 33, and then what's the length opposite? It's 8 millimeters, right? So put sine 33 over 8 is equal to, we'll do the sine of 108, okay? Sine of 108, because we know that, but we don't know AC. But we can solve for that. So let's figure out the sine of 33. Right now I'm in degrees on my calculator, and we'll type in 33 sine, and I get, I'll write this down, 0.5446, and I'll round 4 over 8. And then we need our sine of 108. So we'll do 108 sine, and that's going to give us 0.95106. Yeah, let's do that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to divide these and multiply this. That's how I've always done it. But there's always more than one way to solve things. 0.95106 divided by 0.54464, and then that gives us 1.7462, da 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 da. Anyways, we're going to multiply that by 8, which is our length that we know, and then that gives us, I'm going to go ahead and put this in red, that gives us 13.96974. Why not? Okay, so now we solved for AC, so I'm just going to do 13.96974, and I'm not choosing to round to like the tenths or hundredths, because you'll find that we're going to be a little bit off, because when Python calculates this, we're not going to have it round, okay? So we'll be a little off, but the more digits we have, the closer it'll be. So now we've solved for AC, so now we need AB, right? So AB, let's look at our triangle. So we need to figure out the sine of 39. So let's do that. I'm just going to block that off. We'll do, again, sine of 33. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and delete that, because we already know what that is. 0.54464 over 8 is equal to, and we need the sine of 39. So let's go to our calculator. We'll do 39 sine, and that gives us 0.62932. And now we'll do our division, right? Again, we're going to divide these and multiply 8. So let's do that. We'll do 0.62932 divide 0.54464. and then we'll multiply that by 8. And then that gives us, let's get red here, 9.24383. Yeah, cool, cool, cool. So now we know that. We'll put that up here. Awesome. So if we go look at our triangle now, we know AC is 13.96974 millimeters, and we know that AB is 9.24383 millimeters. And we have solved this problem. So now let's make this a Python script. And the way I want to do it is I want the user to write in, and I want the user to provide angle A and the length of the side opposite, so it'll be 8. And then I also want them to provide 108, so pretty much what we started with. And then our program is going to give us the value of C, which we calculated, our length of AC, which is 13.96974, and then AB. Okay, so first thing, we have to import the math module. Okay, and we want some user input, so I'm going to say angle equals 1, or not equals 1, just angle 1, and angle 1 will just represent angle A. Okay, so we want input, enter angle, the value. Okay, so this will, if we run this right now, you'll see enter angle value, the user can type in 33 and boom, right? But there's a few things. One, every time we use input, it captures the value as a string, and we want it to be numeric. So let's convert it to a float. So we can type in float, and then open parentheses, close parentheses, and now whatever the user types in will be converted to a float. Next, let's do length, right? So let's say float input. We want to be specific here, so enter length of the opposite side of that angle. Okay. Then we'll do angle 2. So it'll be the other angle we know. So we'll just say float input, enter angle value that does not have a length opposite to it. Okay. Now be sure you actually have your two parentheses here, end parentheses, because one belongs to the input and the other belongs to the float. Okay. Now we can actually go ahead, if we go back to the iPad where I did the math, the first thing we did was find angle C, right? So we can actually do that. Angle C is 180 minus 108 minus 33. So we can actually go ahead and do angle 3 is equal to 180 minus angle 1 minus angle 2. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. Let's put some spaces. Okay. And let's go ahead and test this. Run, enter angle value, 33, 108. Whoop. All right, let's do 33. The length of the opposite side is 8, and then this is 108. Cool. And let's just test angle 3, and we get 39, perfect. So no errors. And I always recommend that while you're writing a script, just take a moment and run it, just to capture any maybe syntax errors, some little small things. All right, so let's now go back to our math here on the iPad, and we have we're finding the lengths. Now, with the math module, we actually have one more step before we use sine. We have to convert it to radians. So we go radians and then sine. So this is where the math module comes in. So I'm going to, I'm just gonna radians, just as a comment, and say angle A. I'll just have ABC correspond with 1, 2, 3. So just remember ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. Do, re, mi. All right, angle A, math, period. So remember that when we import something, especially when we import it this way, if we're using something that belongs to the math module or the module that we're using, we have to lead with it. So math, period, radians. And so this will set the angle measurement to radians. So what's the angle measurement? Well, it's angle 1. Okay. And let's do angle B, math, radians, angle 2. And we know angle C. So we'll do math, radians, angle 3, and the parameter. Let's just run it. Do we have a syntax error? We do. Yes, because we are missing, because for whatever reason we didn't put periods there. There we go. All right, and that's the benefit of taking a moment to run your programs. All right, now we're going to, I'm just put a comment, find the sine. So let's do sine underscore angle underscore A, and we'll do math, because we're going to call the math module, period, sine, and then what are we going to put in as the parameter? Well, it's going to be angle A. And we can do the same thing here, and you could always copy paste and tweak it, but we'll just write it out, or type it out, I guess you should say. All right, sine angle C equals math, period, sine angle C, and that gives us the sine. So now we have the sine. So now we want to find the lengths, right? So if we go back to our iPad, we have find the lengths, and what was it? We did the math of sine 33 over 8, and then we had the sine of 108. We divided, we multiplied by 8, and then we got the side AC. We did the same thing and got the other side. So let's do the math. So let's do length, side B, let's call it side B, and that's going to be sine angle B divided by the sine of angle A. And again, this is exactly what we did in our math problem. And then we'll multiply that by length side A. And then we'll do the same thing with length side C is equal to sine angle C divided by sine angle A multiplied the length side A. Is it length side A? What do we call it? No, we just called it length 1 because this is the user input. Okay. And now I'm just going to put a comment, say output, and let's print angle C. We'll print length side B, and then we'll print length side C. Now, let's rock and roll. Let's run it, see if we got it right. So enter the angle value. Well, 33. And what's the value to the side, opposite of it? It's 8 millimeters. And the angle value that does not have a length opposite to it, that was 108. So what do we have here? Boom, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum. See, angle C looks incorrect. We'll have to look at our code. But let's see, 13.969715. Yep, that's very close to what we had. 9.24385. That's very, very close as well. And actually, if we round it, it's spot on. So let's do this. First, let's figure out why our angle wasn't correct, because that should just print out angle. That should just print out 39. Oh, I see. So that printed out our radians. We just need angle 3. I forgot that ABC 1, 2, 3. So angle 3. And we'll run it again. So run it. We have 33. This was 8. This was 108. And then boom. 39 degrees, 13.969, 9.24. And yep, and there you go. So now we have the same, we did the same thing that we did by hand in Python. And I encourage you to take whatever math you know and see if you can create a program for it. Now, to clean this up a little bit, and this is something that you guys know how to do already, but we can use some concatenation. So let's say in our print, we'll say angle C plus, and that'll give us that. But one thing to remember is angle 3 is numeric, and when you use concatenation, you have to convert it to a string. So we're just going to convert that to a string. And we'll have to do the same thing here, but length side B. So this was our AC. So we'll say length AC plus. And then we have to do str to make sure that's a string. And then we have length AB. So length AB plus, we got to convert that to a string, length side C, and this will be a nice cleaner output. Okay, so enter angle value 33, and what was the side opposite to it is 8. The angle value that does not have a length opposite to it, that was 108, and boom, angle C 39 degrees, length AC 13.969715, length AB 9.24385. Now that's a lot, right? Let's just go ahead and clean it up. I don't think we've done the round. I don't think we've rounded anything in any of our videos yet. So let's go ahead and do that. It's very easy. So we have our length side B and length side C. What we can do is type in round, and you want to do this within the parentheses of the string. So round, and it's going to ask for two parameters, the number and then the number of digits. So that's our number, comma, number of digits. Let's just do 2. Close parentheses. We'll do the same thing here. Round, open parentheses. Length side C is the number, comma, to put in our next parameter, which is 2 digits. Close parentheses. Let's run it again. The angle value is 33. The length opposite to it is 8. And the angle value that does not have a length opposite to it, 108. And now we get angle C is 39, length AC is 13.97, and length AB is 9.24. And then if we go back and look at our math, what we did manually, you'll see that that's exactly what we have. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, the purpose of this video was, one, to just, again, refresh on modules, importing those, but more so than just doing some math, it's about the process of breaking down steps. Python is great for automation, all sorts of different types of automation, but it's always about breaking down the steps and just going block by block. And just by separating out the steps, you'll find that automating things with Python is not as intimidating as it seems. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe to Gwinnett County Public Library's YouTube to be notified when we release more Intro to Python videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.